Hi, this is Urvi from your video classes, and in this video I'll discuss about exception to use of by in passive voice. The reason behind this video is that in most of the exams, be it bank, SSC or any other competitive exam, you will find one question related to voice. We have already discussed about how to transform a sentence from active to passive and passive to active and when to use passive voice. But knowing only transformation will not help you always. So do watch this video very carefully.
Let us start with an example. She bakes a cake. This sentence is in active voice. But when we say a cake is baked by her, the sentence is in passive voice. Here an agent is introduced using a preposition by. That is, the doer of the action is introduced using by. If you want to know more about voice, you can always refer to my earlier videos. But in some cases, the agent is introduced with some other prepositions. In this video, we are going to discuss the same. Because simply knowing the transformation will not always be helpful.
The first situation is use of preposition at instead of by. That is, when shall we use at? For the sentences with surprise, annoy, shock, alarm, disappoint, displease, distress, astonish, laugh, as the main verbs, at is used instead of by. Just remember these verbs. If you use by as a connector, it will not go as wrong. But if it is asked in rectification of error, by will be considered incorrect. His performance in the exam disappointed me. We have this sentence in active voice. Now we have to change this into a passive one. So the object me will change into subject and become I. Verb disappointed is in the past tense. So we have was disappointed as the verb in passive voice. Now comes the connector. We have to use at because our verb is disappointed. And then the subject from the active voice, his performance in the exam.
Next is, her presence there surprised me. We follow the same procedure. Me, object will change to subject. I, verb surprised will change to was surprised. Since surprised is the main verb, our connector will be at, and then the subject from the active voice, that is her presence there. The sentence becomes, I was surprised at her presence there. The success of the Mars mission astonished everyone. We follow the same procedure. Astonished is the main verb, so we will have to use at, and the sentence will go as, everyone was astonished at the success of the Mars mission. The second situation is use of preposition to instead of by. When shall we use to? For the sentences with Mary or no as the main verb, to is used instead of by. For example, Priyanka knows Amar. The passive for it will be, Amar is known to Priyanka. We cannot say Amar is known by Priyanka. No, it's totally wrong English. Second sentence we see here, Varun has married Natasha. The passive for it will be, Natasha has been married to Varun. Can we say Natasha has been married by Varun? So weird it sounds. It is completely wrong English. The third situation is use of preposition with instead of by. For the sentences with please, disgust, impress, charm as the main verbs. With is used instead of by. Say for example, Hetwi's speech impressed the judges. The main verb here is impressed, and so our passive voice will be the judges were impressed with Hetwi's speech. We will not say by Hetwi's speech. Next sentence is the flattery of his colleague disgusted him. Disgusted being the main verb, our passive voice will be he was disgusted with the flattery of his colleague. We see one more sentence here. Her behavior pleased everyone. And the passive for it will be, since our main verb is pleased, it will go as everyone was pleased with her behavior. Apart from this, when the agent is not a person, but it is an object, we use preposition with instead of by. The fourth situation is the use of preposition in instead of by. That is, when shall we use in? For the sentences with interest, consist, absorb, contain, etc. as the main verbs, in is used instead of by. Say for example, this topic might interest you, and the passive for it will be you might be interested in this topic. We will not say by this topic. This book consists many stories, and the passive for it, we begin our sentence with many stories. Many stories are consisted in this book. We will not say consisted by this book. No, it's wrong. Small intestine absorbs nutrients, and the passive for it will be beginning with nutrients. Absorbs is simple present tense. Our passive voice will be nutrients are absorbed in small intestine. I hope you all have understood all four situations when we use other prepositions instead of by. So now take a small test. Just solve these 5 sentences, change them into passive voice. But remember, you don't have to use by as a preposition. You have to use other prepositions as discussed in the video. And I'm sure you will be getting all answers correct. Wishing you all the success in whichever exam you are preparing for. See you with some other topic in my next video. Till then, keep practicing. Bye-bye and take care.